Tilawat by Imam Bajwa.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. وإن عاقبتم فعاقبوا بمثل ما عوقبتم به ولئن صبرتم لهو خير للصابرين. واصبر وما صبرك إلا بالله ولا تحزن عليهم ولا تك في ضيق مما يمكرون. إن الله مع الذين اتقوا والذين هم محسنون. In the name of Allah, the Gracious, the Merciful. Call unto the way of thy Lord with wisdom and goodly exhortation, and argue with them in a way that is best. Surely thy Lord knows best who has strayed from his way, and he knows those who are rightly guided. And if you desire to punish the oppressors, then punish them to the extent to which you have been wronged. But if you show patience, then surely that is best for those who are patient. And endure thou with patience, and verily thy patience is possible only with the help of Allah. And grieve not for them, nor feel distress because of their plots. Verily, Allah is with those who are righteous and those who do good.
Jazakumullah. The next item is the welcome address to be presented by respected Regional Ameer Sahib.
Assalamu alaikum. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'd like to welcome Imam Sahib to Baitul Ehsan, and I'd like also to thank him for giving us time at this late hour to come and visit us. The welcome is really that Imam Sahib said he was here 2 days ago, so Imam Sahib is returning back to Baitul Ehsan, so the welcome is open all the time for you, Imam Sahib. Few in September, on September the 8th, if I'm right, on the Friday sermon, Jummah sermon, Hazrat Amir Mu'mineen reminded members of the Jamaat worldwide about the obligations in Tabligh, and he gave us examples on ways that people exhort towards Tabligh, and what is the instruction in the Holy Quran directly with respect to Tabligh. Once that sermon took place, all those who heard that sermon, I'm sure in the whole of Baitul Fatu Mosque itself and around the world, reflected on how they could come towards and get better prepared in the field of Tabligh. Subsequently, I met with Maulana Naseem Bajwa Sb and Tahir Khalid Sahib, and we decided to call a meeting of the presidents of London B region and their Tabligh secretaries. Some of them are already here. And in that meeting, we felt it was an open discussion, and there was a lot that was highlighted. But the main thing that was highlighted, which Maulana Naseem Bajwa Sahib, Tahir Khalid Sahib, and myself, we then decided was that, and what we got back directly from the feedback of some of the attendees here, was that there was a requirement of some Tabligh training. And Maulana Naseem Bajwa Sahib then said that we should start a Tabligh training class, which we decided to hold here in Baitul Ehsan, and the class would be for 8 weeks. So the planning of that class was immediately after Hazrat Akhtar's sermon, and we planned and we sent out messages to the whole region that this class is taking place here in Baitul Ehsan. And by the grace of Allah, you who are attending here answered that that invitation, and you came and you subscribed for an 8-week course. So the course was for 8 weeks. I did attend myself some of them, but due to other commitments, I could not make it all the time. But at each meeting I attended, the class was full, despite the bad weather. The weather in the last few days has been quite good, but on some Tuesdays, the weather was very, very wet, and quite cold, and people still came straight from work. And what we had decided was that all those who attended, that they should also have the evening dinner here. But unfortunately, one day I think that was left a little bit later on, but I apologize for that. But the attendance was good, and the feedback that I saw was very good, and also each class was recorded, that those who wanted to go back and to revise for their class could do that. And I think Maulana Bajwa Sahib really did give us a very good insight into his experience of over, I think, more than about 40 years in the UK in the field of Tabligh, and gave us his guidance. And I think each one of us here will I think appreciate that with consistently for 8 weeks we had a solid, at least more than 2 hours lesson in the field of Tabligh, and it was quite interactive as well. There were questions asked after each lesson as well, and each person who attended or who has reviewed the lesson, and I urge anyone who's going to listen to this that they should go and review, and if the lesson is still recorded somewhere, that they should maybe use it with their family. But the intention of the class, Imam Sahib, was that in each Jamaat then there will be trained people who are who can invite people and exhort them in the way of Allah, and also that they can train other members of the Jamaat. So this was one of the criteria of attending the class, that each one who's present today, inshallah, that they can go back to their respective Jamaats, and that they can also train others. So I'd like to just thank you, Imam Sahib, for attending, and again I'd like to thank Maulana Naseem Bajwa Sahib for giving us all the opportunity to have his guidance in respect of the Tabligh. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah for the welcome and also very comprehensive report in a way. But the proper report, the detailed report will be presented by respected Regional Missionary Sahib.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. First of all, I would like to thank respected Imam Sahib that he has very kindly accepted our invitation and he is with us, and inshallah we listen to him, and I would like to dedicate most of the time on that. Now, as Regional Ameer Sahib has just mentioned, that the background of this class is the khutbah of Hazrat Ameer al-Mu'mineen of 8th September 2017, in which Huzur particularly presented that verse of the Holy Quran where Allah has said, Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal mau'izatil hasana, that called the people to the path of your Lord with wisdom. And Huzur explained the word wisdom and said that one of the meaning of wisdom is knowledge. So then Huzur said that all the Da'in-e-Allah should be given proper knowledge of the Quran and Hadith so that they can do the work of Tabligh with full confidence. So with this background, this class started on 3rd of October. And as it is mentioned that it was decided that this class should be weekly and for 8 weeks. Now basically it was for the London B region, but what we have seen that in this class, by the grace of Allah, from London A and from South region also, Ta'inullah have been coming. Altogether from 13 Jamaats, 24 Ta'inullah attended it regularly, but on the first day there were 53 people. Then this class was every Tuesday from 7:15 to 9:30, and in the syllabus we included these subjects. One was, first of all, the Khutbah Juma of Huzur Ta'ala bin Aziz of 8th September. Number 2, 13 steps to successful preaching, which included the 7 stages of prayer as well. Then differences between Ahmadi Muslim and non-Ahmadi Muslims. Then why are we Ahmadi Muslims? Next was Islam and Bible. Next was atheism. Next was allegation of non-Muslims against Islam and their answers. And the last one was finality of prophethood. So on these subjects we presented references from the Quran, Hadith, and they were explained, and also from the Bible. And for all these lessons, the notes were prepared and they were provided to all the members. I'm very thankful to Kabir Sahib and Tahir Khalid Sahib, who recorded it and then sent it to many people, and according to one estimation, more than 400 people have been listening to this. The last week we had the written test, and it was told beforehand that there will be a test at the end. So 19 students took part in this exam. And according to the result, Dr. Maqbool Ahmad Sani Sahib is first. Out of 30 marks, he obtained 27 marks. The second was Mr. Qasid Ahmad. He obtained 26 marks. And then third was Mr. Dabir Ahmad Bhatti, and he obtained 25 and a half. So Barakallahu lakum. Now we are very much thankful to Regional Ameer Sahib and all the team who provided us dinner as well regularly, very nice dinner. Even on that day when it is mentioned that there was some delay, but pizza was served. So everybody was very happy to have that change, So we are thankful to everyone. At the end, I would like to mention that in the beginning of the class, I wrote a letter to Hazrat Ameer Mumineen Ayyadullah Ta'ala Minister Aziz, and the reply I received yesterday, and it is quite in time, so I can present it to you. So Huzur says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. आपकी फैक्स मिली है कि आपने मेरी हिदायत की रोशनी में तबलीग ट्रेनिंग क्लास का आगाज़ किया है, जो हर मंगल को होगी। जज़ाकुमुल्लाह, अल्लाह ताला फजल फरमाए और बरकत डाले। अल्लाह ताला शामिलीन को इस क्लास से भरपूर इल्मी इस्तिफ़ादा करने और तबलीग के मैदान में नुमायाँ काम करने की तौफ़ीक़ अता फरमाए। अल्लाह ताला आपके साथ हो, आपकी इस्तेदादों में इजाफ़ा फरमाए और आपको मकबूल और मुस्बिर बसवरात हसना खिदमात की तौफ़ीक़ दे। आमीन। वस्सलाम। खाकसार मिर्ज़ा मसरूर अहमद खलीफतुल मसीह अल खामिस। So we have seen that by the grace of Allah, because of this prayer, we had many blessings, and one of the blessings which I have been telling the members here, that during this week, every week we were having baths. Although these baths were coming from various places, but this week was really a very blessed week. 6 baths we had in these 6 weeks. So this was one of the great blessing of Allah. But as it is mentioned by Huzur Ta'ala bin Aziz, that now you should take maximum benefit from this knowledge and then use it and go to the Tabligh field of Tabligh and make yourself useful for the whole society. So may Allah enable us to do so. Now the certificates of participation will be presented, and I request Dr. Makbul Sani Sahib to come and read the names, and these will be presented. Jazakumullah. And I request Imam Sahib to kindly please present it.
Standing here.
I was thinking why my name was first.
Qasid Ahmed Sahib, Naseem Ahmad Sahib,
Rehan Sayyid Sahib, Ameer Bashir Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Sabat Mahmood Mirza Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Arslan Ahmad Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Dr. Salman Ansari Sahib, Sardar Hamid Ahmed Sahib, Asim Shehzad Sahib, Mubariz Ahmed Ahmadi Sahib, Nabil Asif Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Shakil Ahmed Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Farhan Khalid Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Sufyan Faruqi Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Nasir Aftab Sayyid Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Asif Ashraf Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Rahil Ahmad Sahib, Barakallahu, Hanif Ahmad Kamran Sahib, Barakallahu, Sayyid Nasir Ahmad Sahib, Ahmad Tosif Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Naseem Khan Sahib, Rashid Latif Sahib, Barakallahu lakum, Munawwar Ahmad Sahib, Barakallahu, Jazakumullah. That's it.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. First of all, I would like to express thanks to Allah Almighty for enabling the organizers, all of them, for holding this very valuable and wonderful Tabligh Training Class. May Allah reward them, and also congratulations to those who spared their time to participate in this wonderful educational class. May Allah also reward them and enable them to really keep their knowledge fresh that they have learnt here, and to put it into practice later on throughout their lifetime. What I would like to say briefly is that whenever we have to do something, we need some training, some education, some practice, some guidance, so that we can do that job in a proper way. This applies to all the things, and particularly so to the religious things. If we have to offer the prayer, we have to know what is the prayer, significance of prayer, what is the way of offering the prayer, understanding the wording of the prayer, and also to learn what are the postures of the prayer, and all the required etiquettes of the prayer. They have to be learned in detail. Otherwise, simply standing, bowing down and prostration, that does not mean that we are offering the prayer, if we do not really understand. So the preparation for the prayer is essential for prayer. Similarly, in the field of Tabligh, which is a noble field and very important, fundamental duty and obligation of all the Ahmadis, because I remember that Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Asl Aziz has mentioned on one occasion that har Ahmadi ko Ahmadiyat ka safir hona chahiye. This is a very beautiful sentence, and I wish if all the participants and all others, and as a matter of fact all members of the community, they could get this one sentence printed on their hearts and minds all the time, that every Ahmadi has to be an ambassador of Ahmadiyat. That is actually the roadmap, the guidance that Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Asl Aziz has given to us. And that is the purpose of us, because we have to convey the message of Islam to all the people. A few days ago, somebody was mentioning to me that I went into certain area and I met certain English people, and especially they were not so far off from the London Mosque, from the Baitul Ehsan, and all the areas where generally the Ahmadis are living in great number. But when questioned about those, when he asked the people, do you know what Islam is? Do you know what Ahmadiyat is? Do you know what is the organization or the requirements of Islam? So the answer was very disappointing, that those people who live in the close vicinity of our mosque, even those people sometimes do not know. But our responsibility does not finish here. As a matter of fact, all of us who are living in this small country, small I am saying as compared with other big countries, but otherwise it's a big country. That's why it's a Great Britain. So it's a big country. Our responsibility is that we should be able to practically convey the message of Islam to each and every person who lives in this country. So this is a very fundamental requirement, and we have to do that. And unless we do that, we will be failing in our duty. So the responsibility of all the members of the Jamaat is quite obvious. We have to discharge the responsibility. And how can we be satisfied if we realize that we enjoy the amenities and the benefits of living in this country, but we have not given something good to these people who have been doing so many good things to us? They are giving us some material benefits, some worldly amenities, provisions, facilities, payments, and things like that. So what can we do to give them something in lieu of that? That is the spirituality. We can give them the spirituality, the religion, the morality, the understanding of true God and belief in God. So these are the blessings that we have. We have, by the grace of Allah, experienced that through the writing of the promised Messiah ﷺ, through the sermons of the Khulafai Ahmadiyyat. We have learnt that. So we know, mashallah, I can say that all Ahmadis, they are mashallah well educated, and they know what is the great wealth of knowledge and spirituality that has been given to us. So now, while living in this country, we have to pay back the debt of their goodness by giving them the message of Islam, by introducing them to the message of Ahmadiyyat, and to tell these people that the Messiah that you are waiting, that Messiah in the second advent has already taken place. So these people still are waiting. Every time when you pass by the church, they are waiting for the coming of Jesus, and they say so many years have left, he is just about to come, this is the right time to come. But these people unfortunately do not know that this prophecy has already been fulfilled long time ago. More than 100 years ago, the prophecy has been fulfilled. And still we have not been able to convey this message of the advent of the promised Messiah ﷺ to these people. So this is our responsibility. How to discharge that? I think that is what I mentioned in the very beginning, that whenever you have to do something, you have to prepare for that. And this Tabligh training class is an example of that. If you know something, only you can tell other people. If you know something, only then you can practice according to that one. Otherwise, simply meeting the people, having good relations with them, just saying hello in the morning, evening, all the time is not enough. We have to go further, and we have to tell them what we are, what we believe, what we do, and what is our objective, what is the message. We have to convey and deliver that message that has been given to us. And as a matter of fact, Allah Almighty has taken up this responsibility by saying, मैं तेरी तबलीग को ज़मीन के किनारों तक पहुँचाऊँगा, that I shall cause thy message to reach the corners of the earth. Incidentally, perhaps all of you know that there is a part of the Great Britain which is known as Land's End. So that one end is also here in this very country. So we should also try to go to all the ends of this country, maybe the northernmost point, southernmost point, easternmost point, or the western point, the whole country. It's not such a big country. And number of Ahmadis, mashallah, year by year is increasing through the baths as well to some extent, but more than that through the people who have applied asylum here, or because of business and jobs they are here. So all the people who are here, their number is increasing. Facilities are available to them. Knowledge is there. And I consider, which I have been mentioning everywhere, that Friday sermons of Huzur Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Aziz, they are like the spiritual dose, a weekly dose which is given to all of us. So we have to listen to that and get the benefit. How inspiring are the sermons? You can only appreciate if you listen to it carefully, understand it, digest it, and then practice according to that one. I can assure you that if all of us, we listen to these Friday sermons regularly, carefully, attentively, and understanding it, then within a matter of 6 months, every Ahmadi, young and old, they can become very good preacher. To become the preacher is the objective of every Ahmadi. This is the task given to us by Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen Ayyadahullah Ta'ala bin Aziz. So therefore, we have to pay attention to that one. One thing, just to add one thing more, is that reading the books of the promised Messiah, that is something very, very essential. And that I feel that unfortunately here in UK, we have not been able to make proper arrangement or give the proper encouragement to all the members. That includes men, women, Ansar, Khuddam, Atfal, Nasirat, everybody. According to their level, according to their ability, they must be attached to the books of the promised Messiah. There was a time when people used to say that, well, only 4 or 5 books have been translated and the rest have not been done. Now, by the grace of Allah, month by month, a new translation of the books of the promised Messiah is coming there. These are all available in print, and also on the media it is there. It is on internet, on Al-Islam site it is available. So these books are now available. So for English speaking people, there is no excuse left at all. Nobody can say that, well, I don't understand Urdu, so where are the books in English? Now the books are there. If you start reading, you can become a great scholar of Islam. How to read that? I would like to share with you a beautiful example by our late, very respected, very knowledgeable, a dedicated, exemplary member of our community, that is Maulana Rashed Sb. He was very fond of reading and writing, and particularly reading the books of the Promised Messiah ﷺ. I knew that he had read the books many times, so I wanted to get it from his mouth to tell the whole world that I am fond of these books and I read it. So once in an interview on MTA, I posed the question which he tried to avoid, but I brought the question again, and finally he was in a way compelled to admit in front of the whole MTA audience, when I asked him that which is your favorite book, he said the Philosophy of the Teachings of Islam. That is really a wonderful book, which was declared the best article read out in that famous conference. Then I asked him, how many times have you read it? That was a question which, because of his modesty, he didn't like to answer. But then I insisted on that one, and finally he said, and I am telling you the answer, he said, I can say with full confidence that I have studied this book at least 50 times. And this practice continues. I asked him, how do you do that? He said, very simple. I keep this book, one volume of that, under my pillow. And when I decide to go to bed after finishing my jobs, then before going to bed, before sleeping, I take up that book, read 1 page, 2 page, 3, 4, 5, as much as I can. Maybe very little or maybe more. But just a few pages every night I read. And then after that, you can take it from me that I enjoy a very sound sleep because of the blessings of that knowledge which comes to me. So this is a very simple method. Make up your mind that all of us, we try to follow this noble example and start reading the books of the Promised Messiah. Take one small copy, Victory of Islam for example, put it under your pillow and read it before going to bed. This will be something great. So things are so many to be told, but I think this is not the moment to go into that detail. I would like to summarize or just finish whatever I have say, that Alhamdulillah, this is a very good example and very good effort that has been done. May Allah reward all the teachers, organizers, and those who helped in any way. So this is a good achievement, and may Allah bless all the organizers and all the participants. But at this point I would like to repeat once again that the knowledge that you acquire in such a meeting or from the reading books of the Promised Messiah, that is not to be kept confined to you. It should be like a seed which grows and becomes a big tree. So the knowledge is just like that, particularly the spiritual knowledge. So therefore, whatever you have learned, keep it not only in your notebooks, but also in your minds. And try to use it practically outside, because this is the whole purpose of such classes. Wherever such classes take place in any part of the world, the whole idea is that the participants should be motivated to carry out the message of the Promised Messiah ﷺ to reach the corners of the earth. May Allah enable us to remember this point and also act according to this one. So I think we have to do the dua at the end. So may I request all of you to kindly please join with me in silent prayer.
Ameen.